So this is Alex. Alex is really worried. He thinks he may have made the biggest mistake of his life. About 2 days ago, I got a phone call from Alex and he was extremely concerned. Let me back up real quick. I met Alex about 4 months ago as he was relocating to Gainesville to start a new job at the University of Florida. We started the home search and ended up finding him a beautiful property that he moved into. He's been there for a little while now, and I actually bumped into Alex just a few weeks ago at Publix. He was sharing with me how great everything was going. The new job was amazing. He was loving the new house, and he was really starting to settle in and enjoy Gainesville. That's why I was so surprised when he reached out the other day, extremely upset. So Alex had a ton of concerns about what's going on with the market and where things are headed. And after about an hour-long conversation with him, I realized he probably wasn't the only person with all of these questions and concerns. I figured we could talk about what's going on with the market right now, look at some of the most recent numbers and stats, and then help you decide what would be the best option for you moving forward. So let's just jump right into it. The March numbers just came out, and during March, we saw a total of 246 closed sales, which was actually 25% fewer than what we saw last year. We also saw 300 pending sales, which ended up being about 4% fewer than we saw last year also. Another important stat we saw was going to be the median days to contract. That number actually went up to 22 days, which was 175% more than this time March last year. Now, when we look at the available homes, the homes actively on the market, we saw that number increase to 490 homes, which was 54% more than we saw last year this time. We also saw 339 new listings come on the market, which is actually 1% fewer than this time last year in March. So the bottom line to all of that, what it really means is we're seeing fewer homes come on the market, more homes sit on the market longer, and then also seeing fewer closed sales, all compared to last year. There are definitely some interesting stats in those numbers, and a few of those are some of the specific questions that Alex had. Based on just that information alone, it would definitely look like things are slowing down. The main thing that's lacking in those stats and that comparison is going to be perspective. Comparing any numbers to the last 2 years is going to be really a challenge because those last 2 years were such outliers and anomalies in the overall real estate market. To gain a little bit of perspective though, let's go back and compare March 2023 to years like 2018 and 2019, those pre-pandemic numbers where overall everyone did think the market was pretty healthy during those times. At that point, those numbers actually compare really similarly to what we're seeing right now. One of the main differences is going to be the active inventory though. Even compared to the pre-COVID years, we still have significantly fewer homes available for sale. Between the interest rates and the home prices, there's definitely some uncertainty in the market, but like we've talked about in other videos, this will typically still boil down to supply and demand, and we're still in a very strong seller's market with so little supply and still a lot of demand. So I'm curious, if you're planning to buy a home this year, how much are the current interest rates affecting your decision, and how closely are you watching them? I believe we're currently in the mid 6% right now, but if they go any higher, would you be considering renting, or are you fully committed to buying this year? Down in the comments, let me know. Are the interest rates impacting your decision right now to buy a home? Yes or no? So what I'm seeing in the market right now here in Gainesville is a high demand for move-in ready homes that are priced right in a good location. Those properties are still seeing multiple offers. I had an experience with 3 different homes just within the last week where we're submitting multiple offers on these homes, and it's still very competitive. The one big difference is going to be the actual pricing. We're not seeing homes sell for $10,000, $20,000, and $50,000 over the asking price. For the most part, we're still staying in line with the asking price and maybe going slightly over in those competitive situations. And on the flip side, I'm also seeing some properties that need a little bit of work or maybe slightly overpriced. Those homes are sitting on the market much longer than they used to. Buyers just aren't overly interested if the home needs a fair amount of work or if the seller is still maybe using a 2022 pricing strategy. Those types of properties are sitting on the market week over week, but that could be a great opportunity to try to get a better price on a home. If you're interested in something or maybe willing to do a little bit of work and put in some sweat equity, you may be able to get a better price on some of those properties right now. Overall though, the buyers I'm talking to and working with, they are just being more cautious this year and more critical of the homes they're looking at. They're not willing to overextend and deal with a higher price and a higher interest rate. So they're definitely taking their time, and they don't have the same sense of urgency that buyers in years past have had. Now keep in mind, markets are going to go through different cycles and prices are going to go up and down, and those are just things that we cannot control. What I would suggest is focusing on what you can control. Now yes, you definitely want to be aware of what's going on around you and where things are trending, but you still have to be able to make a decision in these situations. If you're considering buying a home in the near future, there's a few questions that you should ask yourself. Number one, how long are you going to be in this home? If you plan to be there maybe less than 3 years, honestly, renting could be a better option. There is some uncertainty in the market, and you don't want to be one of the people trying to time the market perfectly. Now, if you plan to be there more than 5 years, traditionally and historically, buying is going to be your better option. But again, you want to look at each timeline in different scenarios and see how they would play out for you. Next, how secure is your employment? Are there any potential changes to your job in the near future? Are you in a stable position for as far as you can see? Next, do you have the necessary savings? Yes, of course, you're going to need that down payment and the closing costs and those sort of things. But in addition to that, do you have a healthy emergency fund that is there in a worst case scenario? If you don't have all of those different financing savings lined up, taking your time, slowing down, and maybe renting could be a better option. After speaking with Alex for a little bit, I went through these questions with him. His job was really stable. He actually expects a promotion in the upcoming months, so he checked that box. His 5-year plan still does have him in Gainesville. He doesn't have any plans to move in less than 5 years, so again, checks that box. And then in addition to covering all those closing costs, he's already rebuilding his savings and on track to have more than a year's emergency fund. So really, when it comes to all of those 3 options, he covered all of his bases, and so buying the house at that time was the best decision for him in that situation. But that may not be your scenario. Everyone's situation is going to be different, and if you have questions and want to walk through what your plans are with me, feel free, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Let me know what questions you have and how I can best help. Now that you have a little bit better feel of what's going on in the market right now, what you'll want to do is watch this video where I drive you around town and share with you some of the most popular neighborhoods Gainesville has to offer.